team.
Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is the Orc Tactical team. And I know this sounds crazy, and don't be too scared, but this will be an Orc Tactical team on Orcs and Goblins. I know it's nuts, but we're coming back to the homeland, and we're going to talk about some trolls. Now, everybody loves the regular trolls. They're great. They're wonderful. For 35 points, you're getting a hell of a bargain. And in a lot of armies, you see these guys all over the place. You see them as little singles running around. You see them in the larger units, in the chariots, the one in front of the other. You see them in medium-sized units, say like the 6 or 8 or 10. And then you get really big. You even get the hordes of the trolls. Now, these guys are so wonderful that a lot of times you don't see their little cousins called the river trolls. And that's really too bad because river trolls really aren't that bad. Now, let's go and kind of talk about why you might want to be considering these guys. Now, the river trolls, really their difference is very simple. You know, you got the regular trolls in special, you got the river trolls in rare, and pretty much when it comes down to it, what's the difference of the river trolls? -1 to hit. Just straight up, -1 to hit. And pass as well, they get, like River Strider and stuff like that. But a lot of times people look at it, it's just like, that's not that big of a deal. Why would I pay those extra points? And they skip right past them. Now, it used to be in the older books, it's even more crazy, even more points. And so I think even like older Orc and Goblin players just say like, yeah, those river trolls and those stone trolls, those are the things you just don't really take. If you're going to take anything, you take the regular ones. Now let's also kind of go a bit to start with the bad and then we'll rally back with the good. Some of the other bad there really is the fact that it is in your rare. And whereas in special, you have up to 50% of your points you can put into it, in rare, you only get your 25% that can go into that. It's competing with some other very critical things, saying like the Doom Divers and the Rock Lavas and stuff like that, Manglers if you're into that type of thing. And you know what? It's a tighter fit. And so really when it comes up to it, that means right off the bat, if you are a player that goes with the horde of trolls, unless you're doing like 3,000 points onwards type thing, river trolls won't work for that. And that really is the biggest negative. So just the fact that they're in rare and they have to deal with all that, past that though, we can start looking at the good. And I think the best way where you can normally see how much of a benefit you get from these guys is play against Warriors of Chaos, play against Demons of Chaos, and play against Nurgle. And it's funny because when you talk to an Orc and Goblin player and you say, hey, how about those river trolls? You're like, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's just I'm paying extra points for nothing. Who cares about those river trolls? You start talking about them about Nurgle, it's like, yeah, it's bull. -1 to hit. It's ridiculous. It's like a third of my hits I'd normally be getting. Nope, I just don't get any of that. And it's kind of weird that they don't correlate the two and how they help each other. And it's one of those things where, like I just said, I mean, if you're dealing with something that'd be hitting you in a 4+, that means only a third of those, 2/3 of those normal ones will actually be hitting you. So you're reducing that combat res by a third. And that's really, really big. And I mean, you can first say that, okay, well, it's 10 points per model for the upgrade. So how much do you really want to put into this? If you were talking about 1 troll, 10 points. If we're talking about 8 trolls, well, that's 80 points. 80 points could be another Doom Diver, or it could be another Chariot, or something like that, right? Like, I don't know if I want to be doing that upgrade. But all of a sudden, this unit is already, 8 trolls is nothing to sneeze at already. But when it's a thing where you're -1, that's a pretty big deal. And I mean, how can you really put a point cost on winning? Right? The whole idea where you have this unit that's going to say, I might not be the regular trolls. There might be a thing where we could have had one or two more of the other trolls, depending on the size. But, I'm going to win because you're losing a third of your attacks on me. And sure, I could have had another troll to make his attacks, and that'd be equaling to combat res there. But, who knows? Depending on the unit size, maybe that extra troll in the back doesn't get to attack, maybe whatever. And here it's just guaranteed. It's automatic, straight up, you're a -1 to hit. I mean, you can also talk about other little nice things too, about saying it's a brand new kit. And whereas for these trolls, it's just like, well, there's the old starter set, so this over and over and over again, or you can buy the new metal one that's, quite expensive. But for the river trolls, I mean, you got the nice new kit. And there's two other main benefits I think you have to look at as well. One, that river strider is very often forgotten and ignored. When I first got the new kit and I was running those river trolls, I was running them in a little unit of 6 just for fun. And you know what? Those rivers come up a lot more often than you'd expect, especially if you're running it by the book, right? If you are going down and just playing at the store on whatever's on the table, or if you're going to the tournaments, you don't always see that much water. But when you're rolling these things up, those rivers can play a massive, massive role in the game. And I know when I'm doing just my horde of orcs and maybe those regular trolls or whatever, I come up to those rivers and I just halt to a stop. And it's almost a thing too where sometimes I just lose because I know that me slowly going to the river is going to give you enough time to decimate me. Or if you are a more combat-oriented army, if I go into here and automatically lose my ranks in steadfast, there goes that. So it's nice, especially if it's something where you have that river that's in there. Well, that's perfect. River trolls go over there. And that is situational, but you know what? It's always nice to have that extra little tool, right? We're not just paying just for the river strider. We have the Mark and Nurgle. And actually, again, I would almost love it if they'd actually said in the next book, you have trolls and Mark and Nurgle trolls. And guys just go nuts for them. But it's nice to have that little extra ability as well. And I think if nothing else, you always have to talk about the dark horse thing as well, where your opponents will look at the trolls and they'll say, yeah, there's trolls, and they'll just think of it that way, and they don't really understand then that impact that -1 will have until it's too late and I'm in combat, and they're like, yeah, okay, I hit you on 4s, and you're like, no, that's 5s. And even worse yet, if they fail their fear test, you're hitting me on 6s. So, that can always be really nice there too. So, really fast one. I mean, with the river trolls, I guess we could also talk about what sizes you can take. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with taking a single river troll. For the most part, I guess if you're doing a throwaway model, you want to keep it as cheap as possible. But what's wrong with 45 points? And whereas we said that one of the negatives was that you're competing with the rares and blah, 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 well, 45 points, you can easily sneak in there, and that's not really hurting you that bad. And then when it comes to combat, I mean, if you're dealing with chaff on chaff, it's just that little extra thing you have there that can really help out, and it's not that bad of a thing, right? Again, too, maybe if you're looking at the little tiny troll chariot where it's, two trolls, one in front of the other, it's all about reducing the amount of attacks coming in and being able to maximize the attacks you have so you can throw this into a unit and then really try and kill off characters with that, right? That's the whole idea, is that where if I went wide, I can only attack so many, but here's a little bust that goes in and I get to try and kill that character. Well, trolls are really slow, and so whereas you always have to worry about, man, are they going to kill one of my trolls before I even attack? Hey, for this little 20-point investment, they're -1 to hit. So that's can be pretty nice. But I think overall, where you're normally going to see the size for these river trolls is going to be in the 6, 8, maybe 10. I mean, at 10, you're really sacrificing your war machines. But I mean, at 6 or 8, that's a pretty comfortable area. So there you go. We're finally back to Orcs and Goblins, and hope you guys liked watching it. And I'm going to have a battle report coming up here with River Trolls, so we'll see how they do. See you then. Bye.